The Grand Theft Auto series doesn't need much of an introduction. It's notoriously one of the crudest, most violent, profane, crime-filled video game series of all time, and Grand Theft Auto Chinatown Wars is no exception. This game goes out of its way to earn its explicit 17+ rating and is definitely not meant for the squeamish. First appearing for the Nintendo DS in 2009 and later the Sony PSP, Chinatown Wars has made its way to the iPhone less than a year after its initial release. And amazingly, this full-fledged version of the game hasn't been dumbed down. In fact, the iPhone version manages to combine the touchscreen elements taken from the DS with a single-screen version from the PSP, creating for a great gameplay experience. Just like one would expect from a GTA game, players take on the role of a criminal anti-hero caught in a downward spiral of the morbid events surrounding him. Players will find themselves killing thugs, protecting turf, stealing cars, selling drugs, and dodging cops, with the option to follow a compelling storyline or just sadistically rampage through the city. The app uses a virtual on-screen controller complete with analog stick and buttons that's become standard on many iPhone games. The controls work reasonably well. That said, they're probably the biggest drawback to the iPhone adaptation, lacking the same kind of precision control one would expect on a more conventional portable gaming system. This, however, is only a small setback in an otherwise awesome game. Players will find they have access to many of the standard goodies they're used to from recent GTA games, including a slew of menu options, accessible from your in-game PDA. The PDA allows players to read incoming emails, which are usually missions, access the Liberty City map, complete with GPS functionality and points of interest, view game stats such as people killed, review mission briefings, select radio stations, and so on. Overall, Grand Theft Auto Chinatown Wars is a major step forward for iPhone gaming. This app helps the iPhone to stand side by side other big boys in the portable gaming world. In fact, the iPhone version holds a few advantages over its competitors. The most obvious is the price point. At $9.99, Chinatown Wars is only half the price of the DS version, or 1/3 of the price of the PSP version. Next, the iPhone version is debatably the most portable version of the game, always there to play anywhere you might take your cell phone. But in the end, I think one of my favorite features of the iPhone version is the option to use a specified music playlist from your iPhone library as a radio station. There's nothing like boosting cars, collecting on contracts, and dodging the fuzz along to your own custom soundtrack. Final verdict, love it. You're listening to Matt from www.theappshelf.com.